In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 28, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Arkansas versus Texas Agricultural and Mechanical. Week 5 of the 2024 college football season is here, and with it comes the much-anticipated annual Southeastern Conference showdown between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Texas Agricultural and Mechanical Aggies. The clash will take place at the neutral site of N.C.aa Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with the kickoff scheduled for Saturday, September 28th. This Southeastern Conference rivalry promises to deliver yet another exciting chapter in the long-standing competition between these two programs. The Texas Agricultural and Mechanical Aggies are aiming for their 3rd consecutive victory over the Arkansas Razorbacks. In their last matchup, Texas Agricultural and Mechanical came away with a convincing 34-22 win as a 6.5-point favorite on the road, a game that easily surpassed the 53.5-point total. With the Aggies looking to repeat that success, Arkansas will be determined to turn the tide in their favor this time around. The Razorbacks have performed admirably over the first 4 weeks of the season, pushing Oklahoma State to the brink in a heartbreaking road loss. Meanwhile, the Aggies have faced some challenges on the offensive side of the ball, including allowing Bowling Green to remain competitive in their last outing. Arkansas has been exceptional on defense, particularly in stopping the run, and both teams rely heavily on their ground game to set the tone. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical has struggled against the spread in recent matchups, posting a dismal 1-6 record in their last 7 games overall, and they are 1-4 against the spread in their previous 5 appearances as favorites. In contrast, Arkansas has been solid as underdogs, going 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games, while the Razorbacks have only managed to win one of their last 12 encounters against Texas Agricultural and Mechanical. They've covered the spread in 4 of their last 6 meetings, suggesting they know how to keep things close against their Southeastern Conference foe. This Southeastern Conference battle in Arlington should be highly competitive, with Arkansas holding an advantage at the quarterback position. The Razorbacks will lean on their experienced dual-threat quarterback, Talon Green, who has racked up 957 passing yards and added another 325 on the ground this season. Green's dynamic playmaking ability could be a key factor in keeping Arkansas in the game. On the flip side, Texas Agricultural and Mechanical is expected to start Connor Weigman under center. Weigman arrived at college as a highly touted prospect, but his career hasn't quite lived up to the hype so far. In 2024, he's completed just 52.3% of his passes, with only 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Despite their talent, the Aggies' inconsistency could open the door for Arkansas to pull off an upset. The Aggies have rebounded well since their loss to Notre Dame, and on paper, they appear to be the more talented team. However, I'm hesitant to overlook the offensive firepower Arkansas brings to the table. Talon Green has shown flashes of brilliance, and Arkansas has scored 21 touchdowns in just 4 games. While Texas Agricultural and Mechanical's defensive front is strong, they've proven vulnerable at times, and Arkansas is 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games as an underdog. If the Razorbacks' offense continues to perform at a high level, they could potentially win this game outright. So the Arkansas Razorbacks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Although I believe Arkansas will do enough offensively to cover the spread, their offense could face significant challenges. Texas Agricultural and Mechanical boasts a formidable defense, ranking 4th in the nation in 3rd down defense by limiting opponents to a mere 21.21% success rate. In comparison, Arkansas ranks 50th with a 35.71% conversion rate on 3rd downs. This could result in several stalled drives and a lot of punts throughout the game. From a betting trends perspective, the under has cashed in 4 of the last 6 meetings between these teams. I anticipate Texas Agricultural and Mechanical will lean on its defense to control the tempo of the game, relying heavily on their strength at the line of scrimmage. This should lead to a lot of short rushing plays, forcing the Aggies into 2nd and 3rd and long situations. I'm not confident in Weigman's ability to manage the offense, especially against a stout Arkansas defense. Arkansas has been solid against the run, allowing just just 3 yards per carry. While they've had some issues in their secondary, they did manage to record 5 interceptions in their recent game against Auburn. Both teams are capable of creating turnovers, and the Aggies should have some success in slowing down Arkansas's ground attack. Given that the under has hit in 4 of the last 6 contests between these programs, it seems likely that this game will follow a similar pattern. Overall, I expect a defensive struggle with both teams emphasizing the run game. If neither defense scores a touchdown, we could be in for a low-scoring affair as both sides attempt to control the game's pace on the ground. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Mississippi State versus Texas. On Saturday afternoon, the Texas Longhorns will play host to the Mississippi State Bulldogs in what promises to be an exciting Southeastern Conference showdown at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium. This marks the first time these two programs will face off as Southeastern Conference rivals, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the matchup. It's also the first time in recent memory that these teams have met on the field. The Longhorns come into the game riding high, ranked as the top team in the nation, while the Bulldogs are struggling with a 1-3 record. Despite the lopsided records, Southeastern Conference matchups always have an unpredictable element, making this a must-watch for college football fans. Texas is heavily favored, especially playing at home, but the Southeastern Conference's reputation for intense competition means no game is ever a foregone conclusion. Texas enters this contest as overwhelming favorites to win, so whether Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning starts at quarterback may not make a significant difference. The Longhorns have dominated their schedule so far, securing victories in all 4 of their games, including a convincing road win against Michigan. As the #1 team in the country, Texas has excelled on both offense and defense, making them a formidable opponent. On the other side, Mississippi State has hit a rough patch, losing 3 straight games while their defense has struggled to stop anyone. Given the matchup, Texas should be able to control the game from start to finish. However, with a bye week and a rivalry game against Oklahoma on the horizon, it's likely that Texas will ease up in the second half. Because of this, the Mississippi State Bulldogs to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams are known for their pass-heavy offenses, which typically results in a slower game clock but also quick strike scoring plays. Texas boasts an elite offense, and with Mississippi State fielding one of the worst defenses in the country, it wouldn't be surprising to see the Longhorns approach or exceed 50 points in this game. On the Bulldogs side, quarterback Blake Shapen has been one of the bright spots, throwing for 8 touchdown passes, giving Mississippi State a chance to generate some big plays through the air. Additionally, with the likelihood of a blowout, both teams could add points during garbage time in the 4th quarter, further boosting the total score. This game showcases one of the top scoring offenses in the country, as Texas has scored at least 51 points in 3 of their 4 games this season. They've shown they can light up the scoreboard even without their starting quarterback, and now they face one of the weakest defenses in the Southeastern Conference. Mississippi State's defense has already allowed 41 points to Toledo, which doesn't bode well for their chances of slowing down the Longhorns' high-powered offense. However, the Bulldogs' offense has at least shown some resilience, attempting to stay competitive in their losses. Facing Texas will be their biggest challenge yet, especially with a true freshman quarterback starting his first game. Mississippi State may struggle early but could find some rhythm late in the game. Overall, Texas is expected to handle most of the scoring, but the Bulldogs should contribute enough to help push the total score over the projected line. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Stanford versus Clemson. The Stanford Cardinal will travel to Clemson, South Carolina, on Friday evening to face off against the Clemson Tigers in an important conference showdown at Memorial Stadium. The Cardinal are coming off a narrow 26-24 win over the Syracuse Orange in their first road game of the 2024 season, which was held last weekend. On the other hand, the Tigers bounced back from a 21-14 loss to the California Golden Bears with a commanding 45-19 victory over the New Mexico Lobos last week. These two teams have only met once before, with Clemson taking the 27-21 win back in the 1986 Gator Bowl. When it comes to playing at home, the Tigers have shown remarkable consistency against the spread, covering in 5 consecutive home games dating back to the previous season. In fact, they failed to cover only once in 7 games at Memorial Stadium throughout the 2023 season. In contrast, Stanford has struggled mightily on the betting front, losing 7 out of 12 games against the spread last season and closing out the year with 3 3 consecutive losses, including a lopsided 62-17 defeat to Oregon State on the road. The Cardinal offense has sputtered in away games, scoring 17 points or fewer in 2 of their last 3 road matchups. This lack of offensive firepower could spell trouble if they fall behind early at Clemson, a team that has scored more than 50 points in both home games this season, including a 59-35 win over NC State last week. Stanford may find it difficult to stay competitive in their first season in the Atlantic Coast Conference. While they pulled off an upset win against Syracuse last week, the Clemson Tigers represent a far more formidable challenge, especially at home. Clemson has bounced back strong from their season-opening loss to number 1 Georgia, securing dominant wins by 46 and 24 points in their last 2 games against Appalachian State and NC State, respectively. The Stanford offense has struggled to make an impression, currently ranked 79th in passing and 95th in rushing yards per game. On defense, the Cardinal have a glaring weakness in pass coverage, which will make it tough to slow down Clemson's aerial attack. Tigers quarterback Cade Klubnik has been exceptional, racking up 587 passing yards over his last 2 outings, and Clemson's passing offense now ranks 25th in the nation. Given that Stanford's pass defense is ranked a dismal 130th, the Clemson Tigers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Clemson has consistently hit the over on the point total in both of their home games this season. Their offense erupted for 66 points against Appalachian State in Week 2 and followed that up with a 59-point performance last weekend, demonstrating their ability to score rapidly and in bunches. On the Stanford side, the Cardinal have surpassed 26 points in each of their first 3 games in 2024. They hit the over in their Week 1 home game against TCU and tallied 41 points in a dominant win over Cal Poly 2 weeks ago. Both teams rank in the top half of the country in key offensive metrics, including total yards per game, which suggests plenty of scoring opportunities for both sides throughout the contest. Defensively, both Stanford and Clemson have allowed 34 points to opponents this season, and neither team ranks particularly well in overall defense, falling into the middle of the pack. Stanford's offense has shown flashes of potential, scoring 27 points against TCU and 26 points in last week's road win over Syracuse in their first ever Atlantic Coast Conference game. The Cardinal also ranked 25th in the nation in plays per game, which should contribute to hitting the over. Clemson's defense has been vulnerable, surrendering 34 or more points in 2 of their 3 games this season. Additionally, Clemson's high-powered offense is a significant threat, having put up 66 and 59 points in their last 2 games, including a decisive victory over conference rival NC State. The Tigers have relied heavily on their passing attack, generating quick scoring drives that Stanford's shaky pass defense will struggle to contain. The Cardinal are currently allowing an average of 348 total yards per game, particularly through the air. Clemson has gone over the total in 4 of their last 5 home games, and with both teams capable of putting points on the board, expect a high-scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.